You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you. Do you understand the rights I have just read to you? And with these rights in mind, do you wish to speak to me? You may recognize this script from countless TV shows and movies, and in the real world, it serves the same purpose. Police officers today are no strangers to what are known as Miranda rights. I'm Emily Kroll, and today we're going to be talking about the importance and history of your Miranda right. Miranda rights are defined as the legal rights of an arrested person to have an attorney and to refuse to answer questions. These rights are extremely important, but you may be wondering why. The Miranda warning is a protection for people who are under arrest, people who are in police custody, and people who are suspects of a particular crime, to inform them of their Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination and their Sixth Amendment right to counsel. It gives the individual the choice as to their decision to invoke or waive these rights and decide the course of action regarding interrogation and questioning. If law enforcement fails to administer a suspect's Miranda rights, courts will often suppress the individual's statements to protect their Fifth Amendment rights. But things weren't always this way. In order to truly understand the importance of Mirandization, we must go back in time to Phoenix, Arizona in 1963. On March 2, 1963, an 18-year-old woman went to the Phoenix, Arizona police, claiming to have been abducted, driven to a second location, and assaulted. The woman was given a polygraph, but the results came back inconclusive. Despite the inconclusive results, the Arizona police still went searching for the car that the woman described. They were led to a man named Ernesto Miranda, who had a previous record for being a peeping Tom. When he was taken into custody, the woman was unable to identify Miranda in the police lineup. But when he was taken and interrogated, Miranda made a confession, which he later recanted. Miranda's appointed defense attorney, John Flynn, did not present any defending witnesses at trial, so Miranda was convicted despite a lack of credible evidence against him. While Miranda was serving his prison sentence, the American Civil Liberties Union, or the ACLU, took his case and appealed it under the notion that Miranda had been coerced into confessing and that the police had violated his Fifth and Sixth Amendment rights against self-incrimination and his right to counsel, which he had never been informed of prior to being arrested. The ACLU first took their appeal to the Arizona Supreme Court, but they upheld the decision to convict Miranda. The American Civil Liberties Union then took their appeal to the Supreme Court of the United States, which ruled that the prosecution in Miranda v. Arizona could not introduce Miranda's confession as evidence because police had failed to inform him of his rights prior to the arrest. They ruled it is police duty to give these warnings as compelled by the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution. They overturned Miranda's conviction, but he was tried once again in the state of Arizona and was found guilty at this retrial and sentenced to 20 to 30 years in prison. Since Miranda v. Arizona, the courts have narrowed the Miranda rights, stating that police interrogations and questioning that occur prior to taking the suspect into custody does not fall within the Miranda requirements, and often police will deem silence as an implicit admission of guilt. But it holds true that without this fundamental right, we the people would have trouble reconciling increasing police powers, and Miranda v. Arizona remains a positive change in police work everywhere.